Back to our top story, and that is the San Bernardino shootings. Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina warning that political correctness may have been a factor in the inability to prevent this horrific massacre.
This is what happens. People stop talking. And we cannot stop talking. We can't stop speaking the truth, and we can't stop saying something if we see something. But that's the cost when people demonize a messenger because they don't like the message.
Yeah, that was on Greta last night. Fiorina referring to a neighbor who claims to have seen suspicious activity regularly at the suspect's home, but failed to report it. We want to bring in John Matthews, the executive director of the Community Safety Institute. John, what's your thought on that? Good morning.
This is very disturbing to me. We want people to come forward. In law enforcement, we depend on citizens. There are about 900,000 of us and 330 million Americans out there. We need to hear from you, and we don't want you to fear being politically correct. We respond to calls for service all the time. Suspicious people, we check them out. It's a delivery man, it's a neighbor, no harm, no foul. But we want you to err on the side of safety. You have to give us the opportunity to check out the incident. Are they dealing drugs? Is it human trafficking? Is it possible terrorism?
Right.
If we get the information, we can look into it and stop these murders from occurring.
And of course, we were referring to the fact that neighbors saw packages being delivered and some unusual activity in the garage, which now we know was a factory for bombs.
Well, yeah, and this is the type of suspicious activity you should be able to see, right? Instead of going to Bye Bye Baby or Babies R Us, you know, they have a 6-month-old child. They're getting in all this ammunition, so it should be pretty easy to see. It's like, okay, why isn't this family pushing their daughter down the street, you know, in a stroller? Instead, they're out buying magazines.
But, John, I want to ask you, though, so even if you contact law enforcement authorities, given the pressure on police officers and law enforcement across the country, are they real? How aggressively are they going to investigate that? How far can they go? How far will they go?
Well, I think we want to look into it. You know, we look into what are the deliveries, what are the times, maybe put some undercover officers out there, have patrol keep a look on the residents. It's what we call the totality of the circumstances. And with that information, we can build a case. Now, it may not be a criminal case that we're building, but we may be getting little bits of information that we can get the whole picture and say, yes, you know what, something illegal is going on. We've got to look into this further. But you got to give us that opportunity. You got to give us the opportunity so that we can have the information to look at it and say, yes, this is an issue, and we want to delve into it and stop these crimes from occurring.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems that we have. We've got to have that information.
And, you know, maybe now with this happening, some people will feel more comfortable with actually making that call or contacting their local, you know, police department to say, you know, I am kind of suspicious. I have seen something, because I do think
they were afraid they were racial profiling.
Well, we need to go back to that.
Exactly.
Well, we need to go back to that post 9/11 mindset, Maria.
Yeah.
We need to where we're under attack, we're under siege. We want to protect our friends and neighbors. And let me tell you, I heard a quote from a girl who was involved in stopping a school shooting, and we asked her, why did you call the police? And she said, it's as simple as this: I didn't want people to die. That's the attitude we need to have. That's the mindset that we need to have.
John, thank you. Good insights from you. We appreciate it.
Matt.
John Matthews joining us there. Coming up.